Okay, so we've been talking about some of the components that contribute to productivity in some classes, and the main one we've been talking about is the human one. But as we remember, there was 4, and the combination of those summed together is what gives us our overall productivity. So if I'm trying to represent graphically here the situation with each one of these, and I'll put the letter next to each one to indicate where they're at. So what we've kind of got at the moment is technology productivity going up the sharpest, human productivity going up a little bit. You've got the in situ productivity of renewables over time is dropping away slightly, and the in situ productivity of the non-renewable resources dropping away more rapidly. So what happens is these basically cancel each other out, like these two cancel each other out, and these two cancel each other out. And so what you get with the overall productivity, what's actually going on is still going up slightly. So wealth in our society is still going up, still slowly. So that's overall productivity, which, as we know, is a proxy for wealth. And a few other things: freedom, choices, etc. Now, the first thing I want to say about this is that obviously there's some assumptions built into this, and over time as well, something that would be happening is population, based on current trends, would be increasing. So if we increased our population more rapidly, and let's say that the same amount of population growth that occurred between this time and this time now occurred in this window of time, well then what's going to happen is this amount of renewable use is going to be achieved in this amount of time here. And so this, instead of the graph looking like that, it would look like much steeper, and if I keep projecting it out, it would be down here. And then the same deal with this one, this renewable use here, non-renewable use that's achieved there will be this one here, and instead our graph from this one will go down like this. And the overall balance now these bottom ones are going to outweigh the top ones, and your overall productivity is going to be decreasing. So that one goes down here now, which means, and it's going down, which means your wealth is decreasing. So population will play an important part, and in my view, our continued pursuit of population growth is harmful to our productivity. It's despite the mainstream narrative. The mainstream narrative is opposite to this. They will say population growth helps it, but I disagree. And we face other challenges going into the future as well. For instance, I know, like in the area I work in, some of the engineering stuff in the mining industry in Australia, that technology has gone up for a long time, but we know we're starting to approach like limits of performance of some of the pieces of equipment. So we know this one's going to most likely tilt over. It's not going to be going up as much. So that already presents a challenge. Even if these two were on their original lines, then that's going to make it harder to keep that going up. But and now you can see why I'm saying, well, for us to focus on productivity in our society and stuff like that is very important, because this one here, if you took away population pressures, could regenerate itself and start going back up. But this one here, non-renewable resources are called non-renewable for a reason. They're very difficult. If this can kind of be broken into two components. I know this diagram's getting messy now. I might clean it up a bit. If I do just the energy resources, they're going down even more steeper. But the metal resources, the other major non-renewable one, they're going down a bit less steep. And I know, like, converting to renewables have low in situ productivity as they are, so they're well down this list. But the good bright thing is that they're over time going to go upwards, basically due to this. So yeah, we've got some important considerations as a society to consider with where we want to go with all this sort of thing. That's kind of all I want to talk about on just the trends over time with productivity factors and what they mean for overall productivity and wealth in society. I'll pause that one there, And I need to have a next one episode we'll talk about is a bit about the difference between the private and public sector, and then what they mean for productivity.